5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 11.
Good evening, everyone. This is the January 8th, 2020 meeting of the Auburn Conservation Commission. If anyone in the audience is recording this meeting, please tell me now, as we're required to ask by law. This meeting is being recorded and is being shown live, Chris?
Yes.
Okay.
And stream.
Thank you. And it will be recorded and can be viewed at the town website, which is arborguide.com. The first item on tonight's agenda is a 7 p.m. public hearing. Justin Stelmach, a request to remove 3 large dead oak trees at property located at 23 Pinrock Road in Auburn. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote. Mr. Stelmach, good evening.
Good evening.
So,
Did I stand?
Sorry, it's across the same country.
this will be short, so you can if you want.
Don't move over for the next person.
Very good.
In there? Oh, he's gonna pick it up. Is that also over like, you know? Thank you, Jessica.
When you turn parking.
Yeah.
And you go
So Mr. Fallon and I went to the property this past Saturday.
Okay.
We saw the trees, and yes, they did appear to be dead. So
Yeah. Cut them down?
I think you can cut them down. What? Are you gonna grind the stumps or just leave the
No,
stumps?
we're just gonna leave the stumps. We're not planning on doing anything else on the property,
I
so we
understand.
were just gonna cut them down at ground level and leave them.
Okay.
Yep.
And when do you think you might get to that?
As soon as I walk out of here, I'm gonna call Advantage Tree and get on the schedule.
You don't wanna waste any
Save
time,
some
do you?
spot for us, yeah.
I understand. Okay.
Advantage tree,
Advantage Enterprises.
whatever it is, yeah.
Is there any questions from the board? Any questions from the audience? All right. In that case, is there a motion to close?
Make a motion, we close the public hearing?
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, Justin. These ones are online?
Took about a minute.
These ones are online?
No, those are the ones Mike took. Yeah,
Okay. You have some stuff on the
yeah, I took them today,
Okay.
and I brought them with me.
Oh, good, I saw them. Are they right here or not?
Since we have a few minutes before our next public hearing, shall we review the minutes for the December 11th meeting? So I reviewed the minutes, and Allison provided some revisions. And aside from the revisions, I saw no issue with the minutes for December 11th. Thought it looked good. Okay?
No, we're good.
Doing great.
Thank you.
Sheila will tell you that in the past we could be pretty critical. But,
Dan isn't here anymore.
Dan's not here
That
anymore.
makes a difference.
Could be a copy of it somewhere.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
he was exiled to Vermont.
Yes, he's gone. He's up with Brent.
Okay, so is there a motion to approve the minutes for December 11th, 2019 as amended?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the December 11, 2019 meeting as amended.
Is there a second?
I second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed to vote.
Make sure you put 202.
Alrighty, and we still have 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure you write 202. Yeah. Is this seen, has everyone seen this?
Yes. Maybe pass it down.
Oh, did you see this? Yeah, you did. I guess you. Oh, we'll just leave it here. Has everyone seen it?
Give it back.
Hey, you don't want it. Did you guys see this?
This report.
Oh, just this work.
How are they gonna do this?
We're going to find out shortly. I think that clock is a bit slow. You know?
Based on
Thank you.
Verizon time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
7:02.
Thank you.
That's 7:04.
If I'd known we were going to have this time, I would have
Put it over
made
here,
some jokes.
too.
but
Yes, right.
I didn't.
Oh, it's not-
Very sorry, folks.
Everybody has anything.
Okay.
TikTok.
TikTok. Okay, you don't have to do that anymore.
No. This is 7:94, okay, so.
All right, I'm going to just be a maverick here. The next item on our agenda is a 7:05 public hearing. Notice of intent for the replacement of Bridge A-17-046 to accommodate a revised lane configuration of two 12-foot lanes in the southbound direction and one 16-foot lane in the northbound direction at the I-90 interchange, exit 10 off-ramp in Auburn. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed to vote? How about it?
Good evening, everyone. My name is David Goldstein. I'm with MassDOT. I was the environmental reviewer on this project, and I'm just really here to represent MassDOT and kind of, introduce the consultants on the project. This is Paul Smith and Samantha Hogan. They worked with us on the project to basically get it to where it is right now, and I think at this point I'll just send it over to them.
We have a presentation lasts about 12 minutes. Is that okay?
Sure.
Excellent. Okay. The this is the project from this is Faith Avenue down here. This is Route 12, the intersection of Faith Avenue and Route 12 is here. Of course, this is where the old toll plaza used to be up
Right.
here. Okay. So, the existing issues. The issue is that the bridge is structurally deficient and functionally obsolete. The deck is narrow and in poor condition and only has one lane in each direction. The poor yield condition on the existing ramps sometimes leads to traffic backups. Our project goals are to provide operational improvements for I-90 off-ramps, which are Ramp H and Ramp N, and to improve the yield condition on Ramp K from Route 12, which is over here.
Do we have, okay.
We are going to replace the existing bridge deck to accommodate two lanes, and replace the existing beams, and also replace the piers and the walls which are underneath the bridge. In order to accomplish the merge improvements, then we need to realign Ramp K. So right here is the existing Ramp K, which is paved, and the yellow there is the proposed Ramp K. So we have to widen Ramp N about 14 feet, and then we're going to widen down here about 8 feet, and then it tapers back to nothing. Okay? And that provides two lanes in this direction. And with that, then there's going to be more gaps in the traffic for Ramp K to merge on and provide less congestion. Okay.
Do you want questions in the middle or no?
It will take a lot longer than 12 minutes.
Continue.
Okay.
So he's gonna want this going.
Right. The stormwater management associated with the project. The pipes have all been sized to convey a 10-year peak flow discharge. The roadway ramp system is curved and has a closed drainage system with multiple outlets to the ramp infields. There are no new untreated discharge. And we have aligned Ramp K to provide a recharge area to accept flow from the grass area, which was formed after we removed the pave area. And we have also proposed to remove the concrete swale and install a grass swale. So that's in this area. When we remove the pavement, then we're going to put the new road here, and we're providing an infiltration basin or retention basin. There's no outlet to that. From here to here is now a concrete swale. We're going to remove that, and we're going to put in a grass swale. And that will slow the flow rate and capture some of the suspended solids, as well as providing some recharge before it discharges into the drop inlet and out. The drainage configuration for the remainder of the project is as close to the existing as possible. Several head walls are in poor condition, and they have tipped. So that's the wall at the end of the pipes on the infield here. They're rather old, and when they tipped, They've causing interference of the drainage flow and also becoming a safety hazard to any vehicles that could leave the road, they could hit those. So they have been replaced, we're proposing to replace them with flared end sections and stone. Any catch basins that we need to relocate will be replaced with deep sump catch basins and provide some water quality treatment by capturing total suspended solids. Okay. So this is the basic drainage system. We have catch basin, and outlet, catch basin, and outlet. And we have to replace some of these because we're widening the roadway. So that's, and those are the inlets that continue on. Okay, the resource areas. All of the wetlands within the project area are part of the Dark Brook drainage system and provide a similar function. We have two plans. It's the first one. It shows the impacts to the wetlands. So we have two kinds of impacts. We have temporary impacts and we have permanent impacts. The permanent impacts are mainly pavement that's from the widening and pavement from the relocated ramp K. The blue, it shows the bordering vegetated wetlands and that have been impacted by the project. So that's these areas here. Okay, and the total area for that, the permanent is 3,770 feet for the permanent disturbance and 408 for the temporary disturbance. Okay. So that's the wetlands impacts. This is the red outlines the impacts. Outlines the wetlands. Okay. This is a picture, a plan of the buffer zone impacts. Of course, when we have the wetlands throughout the median, then we have a lot of buffer zone impacts. So the proposed work within the 100-foot buffer zone include the construction of the wetland replication areas. And the green shows the areas that are being impacted, which are within the buffer zone. So including the wetland replication areas, we have 1.2 acres that we're impacting. The majority of the impacts would be associated with the proposed realignment of RMK, the existing culvert extensions, and of course the bridge. Okay. Back to this board. So, in order to mitigate the loss of the bordering vegetated wetlands, will be performed by constructing several wetland replication areas. To the extent practical, the replication areas are located in the vicinity of the impacted wetlands. The three areas for the wetland replication are shown here, adjacent to this area, here, between these areas, and here, between these areas. So the total replication area is more than the disturbed area. We're up to 4,633 feet of wetland replication area. In that area, we intend to seed with part shade wetland mix. The areas are shaped this way because of the contours. We had to lower the areas in order for them to be fed by the drainage that is produced here and here. So that kind of dictated the shapes. And we tried to get as close to the wetlands without having to trample on other wetlands to get there.
Makes sense.
Okay. The last thing I want to say is the temporary features. The plan here shows the compost filter tubes in different areas, and they're used for sediment and erosion control during construction, and in place as shown here, and also at the bottom of any slopes during construction. Okay. So Was that less than 12 minutes? Did I do well?
Yes,
Okay,
awesome.
good deal. All right, now, any questions?
I was wondering the thought process behind taking the straight merge to curving it up. Is that like a traffic?
Yes.
It's a
Yeah,
nightmare.
so-
Yes, it is.
It's a nightmare.
But what makes it better not just going straight in?
The angle of approach.
Yep.
So if we have this angle here, the car is, my pointer car is facing that way. If we have the curve here, then he's going that way.
Yeah, it's,
Okay.
you have to turn your neck all the
And
way to the
so-
left.
And so,
Okay.
but unfortunately, that's not the whole key. We couldn't make it all work that way, so we had to widen this roadway.
Right,
Yeah. Oh,
right.
yeah.
So that's the other key here. So this goes from 1 lane to 2 lanes all the way through.
Okay.
And when you're coming down south and then about to get on ramp J, is that going to be, I guess, is everyone going
Yeah,
to
this
ramp
one
J?
here, yeah?
Yep.
Will everyone have to take a right?
No.
Okay.
So there's gonna be 2 lanes going this way, and the
Either or.
merge, the departure that comes that
That's
way.
going to help
Yeah.
quite a
Oh,
lot.
two.
We certainly hope so, and we're assured that it will. And we thank the Mass DOT for putting the money in to do this.
How long will it
Definitely.
take?
I think the construction season's 2 years because, and it's not dictated by the roadway, it's dictated by the bridge. So,
When would this?
because we are doing a lot of work with the bridge, and it can't be all done at once. So it's done with phases, so they block off some of the bridge and gonna take the middle out. And then they'll replace that and move the traffic
Oh, yeah.
to one side to the other
So
side.
the intention is to keep the bridge and the roadway open
Open.
during construction,
Yes,
of course, because otherwise it'd be a nightmare.
that's correct.
Going to include Southbridge
I don't think there's any other option.
Southbridge Street as well would be
Yeah.
obviously open to it as well.
Yes.
Okay. How about, when would that be starting? Do you have any idea?
Typically, we start construction around 9 months or so after the ad date.
Okay.
So it has not been put out to bid yet?
No.
Okay,
Not yet, no.
all right. What we normally do is we always like to take a look. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've traveled that roadway. Hundreds, maybe thousands.
Yeah.
Huge improvement.
And
Yeah.
so obviously, as you indicated, it needs to be improved. And this seems like a good way to do that.
The wetlands, the replication area is just going to be deepened to create the wetland, or are you adding plants or?
We're gonna add a seed mix, the wetland seed mix, grass seed. So, I have one more void.
All right.
There we go. So, this is mainly what's out here. So, and a lot of it's the grass, and then the wetlands have grown in between. So, we intend on putting back more or less the same thing. There's no, what do we call it? There's no high bush blueberries or any overstory or anything like that.
They probably won't
on
be able
these.
to mow it, right?
Right. Well, I'm not gonna say about maintenance. We don't
Okay.
do maintenance.
Well,
We
just
just
plants would
plant.
make it look so much nicer. Yeah.
We got it.
From what I recall, there's a lot of Japanese knotweed around there, and when they're doing the work, feel free to mitigate and remove as much Japanese knotweed as you want.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it.
Are primarily
Be our guest.
Yeah.
Do we have a need to go out there and take a look?
I don't know what we can do.
It's gonna be tough. I don't know where we would park to walk, honestly.
Well, that's true.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
safe.
Safety reasons.
That's
so-
unsafe.
And the
We can use
weekends are
Chris's-
usually.
We can use Chris's
We
drone.
could use Chris's drone.
There you go.
Thumbs up.
All
The
right,
drone, okay.
okay. Would you prefer to close the public hearing tonight?
Certainly, yes.
Silly question, right, Sylvia?
There's no DEP file number on that yet, so
Oh, so we
I don't
can't.
know if there's a
Okay.
timeframe.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's.
Well, apparently we can't close because there's no DEP file number.
Uh-oh.
So, but in all seriousness, we can continue this for 2 weeks. That'll give us an opportunity maybe some of us can make an inspection or something. And then, once we get the DEP file number, we can we can close the public hearing. You don't have to come back, and then we can issue the appropriate order, if that's agreeable to you.
Perfect, yeah.
There is a number on page 4, Sheila. I don't know why. On page 4 of this?
And the booklet?
Yeah.
Were the,
I have the transmittal number, which was, there is one, it was supposed to be provided to you, but I guess we don't have the DEP file number, we don't, not sure what's going on there, it's not on the website.
Okay.
Wetlands, yeah.
Yeah,
The
it's just an
transmittal number.
X2864.
what was
No, it's
the
not in here.
methodology for the wetland delineation? Is that already done, or?
Oh, yes. And,
Yeah, that was, the wetland mitigation was kind of more designed in terms of where we wanted to put it and how large, kind of on my end, basically. We thought that the areas that we chose gave the wetland replication areas the highest chance to succeed and
Right.
persist.
I was wondering about the delineation, the original delineation, because there's no plants, so it would have had to have been all soils, right?
For the current delineation?
Yeah, there are plans,
There are
there's
some.
not done, but
Yeah, page 1.
over the height of 2 pages. It was
It's actually page 9 of 9 on the notice of intent, on the signature page.
Recently, or?
They're all noted for it.
It's 9 and 9, I know.
Yeah, look on page 9 and 9 on the bottom right.
17.
Yeah.
It was like a trans,
That's good enough.
Is there
He's
a
right.
plan is, the bridge gets worked on first and then the roadside, or it doesn't matter at the same time?
it's gonna be, stage construction, so, we do a suggested staging. And so, basically, it's gonna be the middle of the roadway done first, the middle of the bridge done first, and the associated roadway, and then I think it's the, northbound side goes next, and then that roadway will be, redone, and, then they do the other side. But, again, that's suggested staging, the contractor can always.
Do what they,
Sorry, Mike. Was there a DEP? Did she say something?
No, there is no
I didn't hear
DEP file
that,
number.
was, okay.
You didn't see one, did you?
Well,
Michelle, there's
Tom
no
found
DEP
one.
file
yeah,
number.
page 9.
Page
No,
9.
that's just a
It's
transaction.
a transaction number, but it's on that line.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
on that number, okay.
So with that understanding,
Thank
we
you.
would be inclined to continue the public hearing for 2 weeks, but you don't have to come back and then,
Okay.
once we get the DEP file number, maybe enlist the services of the town's drone, just to take a few pictures, then we can close.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, very good.
Very
Well,
good.
thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
thank you very much.
So what's on our agenda for, it would be
22?
the 22nd.
Yeah, that's going to be a busy week.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Do we have anything on the agenda for?
I have one request for, yes, no, sorry. It was certificate from Myers.
Okay, so there's nothing, no public, that's okay, no
No
public
public
hearings?
hearings, yeah.
None,
The
okay.
deadline
So
was-
can I get a motion to continue this matter to January 22nd at 7 PM?
So moved?
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed to vote? Okay, very good.
It's weird with all of us here. I went to another meeting, and
Let me check
It's the only
some.
thing I
like,
learned
one
about
person
this.
always does the motion, and one person always does the second.
Okay,
Here it's a race.
the next item, that's true. It's like, you get points or something. The next item on tonight's agenda is 7:10 PM public hearing, Washburn Commercial Properties, an enforcement order to cease unpermitted snow dumping at 505 Washington Street, Auburn. Is the motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed to vote. Are you here for that? Okay, please step up. And you are, sir?
I'm Paul Gerard.
You Paul Gerard?
Paul Gerard.
Okay.
I and my wife own 104 South Street.
Okay.
For years, it's been going on. Years we've talked to Fuller Automotive, asking them to stop dumping.
Is it Fuller that's doing it?
Yeah.
Okay. Just so you know, we issued an enforcement order, and we fully expected someone from Fuller to appear
be,
tonight.
So them not being here isn't good.
Okay.
They don't care.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
My apologies.
Yes, I do apologize, but due to a series of unfortunate events happening tonight. Neither of the Fullers were able to be here, Richard Fuller or Joshua Fuller, so I am here representing Washburn Properties.
Okay.
All right.
And your name is, ma'am?
My name is Carrie Cunningham.
Okay, Carrie. So, in any event, we received a complaint about snow dumping occurring. Do you have a response to that?
I am not as familiar, of course, as they have been, of the situation. I'm not familiar with the wetlands or the property lines as to where they are. I was able, only a couple of hours ago, as I was aware of the situation, go up there. However, it is a little bit dark to see the area that was in question. So I'm just asking as to either if there's any recommendations, any suggestions. There are about 50+ employees, and as our business does grow, sometimes it's a safety issue with snow removal, depending upon, of course, how much snow we do get. I think this instance, I don't know if it was the first snowfall of the season, which of course, you try to put wherever to make room for the rest of the snowfall.
First two.
So, the first two. So I don't know, and again, I apologize for my nativity of this whole situation, if there is any recommendations or suggestions as to either where the line is or if there's other areas where the snow can go.
Well, the problem is, this has been going on for 15, 20 years. We have addressed it, we have talked to the people over there, the employees, your father, and your brothers, and they assured us that this would never happen again.
Okay.
I believe you have a record that her father, Ralph Whiting, had filed a complaint about them dumping snow in 2011.
Yes.
Okay. So you go from 2011, this has been going on every year.
Well, let me ask
that
you.
I've been here.
Okay. So the property lines are well established, right?
Yeah, if you can see the pictures, the snow is dumped over the fence by about, I didn't go down there with a tape measure, but I'm saying 35 feet plus.
All right.
Plus there's a hood to a car from the body shop over there.
Right.
And this is, again, it's not,
I use it for an motor.
it's not that it was a one-time thing. When we talked to Dick Fuller about it, Dick said, oh, I was out of town, it was just a fluke, it'll never happen again.
Okay.
The following storm, same thing happened again. I said, Dick, were you out of town again? This keeps going on and on and on.
Okay.
One, not only are they illegally dumping snow on private property, it is in fact wetlands, and they have been asked to address it and deal with it. There's several things. I think that the area should be checked for hazardous waste, because as you're aware, once you move snow, it's hazardous waste. Hence they have snow dumps for that purpose. Nobody's protecting this. Nobody's protecting our land.
Well, let me ask you this. You say hazardous waste. Have you noticed any deposits of waste oil or anything indicating or from an automotive operation that you can recall?
Honestly, no. I wasn't looking for it.
Okay. How did that hood get there?
I guess you would have to ask Fuller Automotive.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I don't do body work and I don't have hoods.
And you wouldn't put your hood there
And
anyway?
I wouldn't throw my trash there.
Yeah, I understand that.
But this has been an ongoing thing.
All right.
And that's the biggest concern. We've tried to deal with them. Josh had come over to me and said, oh, we're going to be best friends, this, that, and the other thing. I said, prove it.
Okay.
And this is how I see, this is how they prove it. They have no intentions of changing. We've gotten away with it for 20 years. Listen, let's get away with it, continue with it.
Sir, it's our intention to stop it. And Ms. Cunningham?
Yes.
We have the ability to issue fines, and we will issue fines, all right? So I think, he stated his case, I think, pretty eloquently. It's really, I think, a black and white issue. There's no shades of gray here. Aside from the fact that you're putting snow in a wetland area, which is really prohibited under our bylaw and the regulations, as a legal matter, you're trespassing on his property. okay? And, I mean, we will discuss it among ourselves, but I think you can't, my feeling, and I think it's almost a common sense response is, you don't, if they don't want you to dump your snow on their property, you stop doing it. And because it's wetlands, that gives us jurisdiction to enforce this. And I assure you that if we do receive any other complaints, I would certainly entertain a motion to start imposing fines, because we can do that and we will do that. So, and I understand, you know, I know the story that's given. Well, we have no place to put it. Well, you'll have to find a place, okay? And it can't be on their property, clearly, all right? And it can't be in a wetland area. So if that means you have to truck it off-site, then, you know, that's something you're going to have to look into. But we can't tolerate this. We really can't, you know. And it's not, we're not taking sides. We are empowered to protect the wetlands in this town. It's not only by state statute and regulation, but also by our own bylaw and regulations. And we take that charge very seriously. So that is the message, and we will put it in writing to you. You know, if it comes back before the board, we will take action. So I don't think I can be any clearer than that.
No, that's quite clear, and that is noted.
Okay.
And I will
One more
try to
question.
know.
What do we do with the snow that's there?
Well, it hasn't melted. It hasn't.
This weekend, maybe.
Well, you know what, I thought that last weekend too.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
not good enough.
It's too cold.
It's too
My
deep,
backyard's still
too.
got.
It's not going anywhere.
It's only gonna hurt it to try to remove it.
It's gotta be removed, well, yeah.
But you
Yeah,
know
it's in
what,
the-
it's
it's
still
in the
on my
wetland.
property and I don't want it there.
Mm-hmm.
So do I go civilly and call the police department, file charges, and have them?
Well, we can't give you.
I
legal
understand
advice.
that, but I'm saying,
Yeah,
what's the person's options? I have no idea.
my-
I shouldn't have to deal with it to begin with.
I totally understand and
You
agree,
can't
okay?
disturb the wetland without.
My suggestion perhaps is that you have a private conversation with either Mr. Fuller or Ms. Cunningham and see if you can reach some sort of resolution of this.
So you people can't say, you gotta move that.
I'm saying that we're gonna discuss this after we close the hearing. You know, but as Ms. Holmes said, we have to make sure, I guess the question would be, how do you remove it? Do you get a cat, go over the bank and remove it that way?
Shovels.
Okay, that's one possibility too, sir. Okay, I
I didn't
understand.
put it there.
we can't, yeah.
All right.
You know, if they gotta go over there with rubber boots,
Uh-huh.
like they do in a Quabbin, walk into your waste and dig the stuff and pass it up the bank and in buckets, so be it. I'm good with that.
Can you estimate how many yards of snow there is? Cubic yards?
I didn't check it today.
Okay.
I'm guessing
I've got this picture here,
50, 60 yards maybe.
Yeah,
Okay. Is that pile pretty much the same?
It's not far from it.
Okay,
Really?
so it hasn't really melted that much.
No,
It's been
and
refused.
I thought after last weekend it would have been gone, to be
Right.
honest with you.
I
yeah,
understand.
yeah,
Right, it's
no.
been too cold.
Oh, okay.
Too cold, still's not gonna be as
Yeah.
high as.
Okay. We will take that under advisement, sir.
There's that much.
That's all I'm asking.
Okay, I
Yeah, I think
understand.
there's that much now.
Is your,
Is the hood of the
Property-
car still there too?
I didn't check that today neither. That could be, it was there recently.
'Cause that definitely has to
I
be
haven't
moved.
checked it in the last 2 days,
Okay.
but I mean, I could certainly go and look and
Yeah,
let you
you're gonna
know.
have to do that.
All right, very good.
Okay?
I think we have a handle on it.
Okay.
You don't want me to let you know if it's there?
Yeah, that's okay, we'll,
Is that the car?
I like the size of that pile.
So,
does,
That's a car.
does Fuller's treat their property with anything? Do they treat the ground with
They solved.
salt? Yeah, just salt,
Probably
yeah.
just so.
Here it is.
So that's more, yeah.
Is that it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that the hood?
Yeah, the hood's in it.
Not that good. Just walk over.
I don't know.
I find complete cars out in the middle of the woods, no way to get out there.
It could have been scooped in the snow when they put it over it all the time. Doesn't appear to be.
I'll be perfectly honest with you. I do walk through there in the spring, and I take all the parts that's theirs, and I throw them back over. And if they hit something, so be it.
Gotcha. Okay.
I just give it back. It's not mine.
So, Ms. Cunningham, we're gonna probably issue some sort of letter or correspondence, so we'll let you know what we'd like you to do.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks. Good luck. That one's there.
Good night.
Good night.
Mark.
Good night, thank you.
Piled them all. Be May before it's gone.
So anyway, I'd like to do, we have other, well, we can do the business too. So, Tom and I went by the charging station at the mall, and, you know, the charging station looks great. All the arborvitaes they planted are dead except for one. You know?
Totally brown.
Really?
Dead.
Yeah, they're
Yep.
dead, they're just
Oh,
dead.
yeah, totally.
So I'm trying to think, as part of the filing, the arborvitaes was proposed, wasn't it?
I believe.
Yes, we're all
Yes, shrubs.
Yep.
Well, I think we can't issue a certificate of compliance until they put in viable
Yeah,
shrubs.
yeah.
In the spring.
So,
Look at that.
my thought was maybe send them a letter saying, you know, yeah, the charging station looks great, the arborvitaes are dead, replace the arborvitaes, please,
Yeah.
and then we'll issue a certificate of
There was
compliance.
2 trees, remember, Mike? I don't know what kind of trees they were, because there's no leaves on them.
Uh-huh.
Right next to the arborvitaes.
Yeah.
It was questionable
Weren't
whether
they
it was
putting
on
them
this
around
site.
that box that was like right
Yep.
before the charging station? There was some big box. I thought there were all shrubs on
It
there.
was a screen, obviously, intended
Yeah.
as a screen,
Yes.
but they have, obviously, the arborvitaes have not been maintained.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah.
Or they put them in late in the season. I mean,
They
they're
just
dead.
look-
They're
they look
brown.
good. I think there's,
Like,
Yeah.
there's
there's
one,
no
I think
green
that,
left.
there's one that I
Deer
think is still alive, but
Yeah.
the others are
Yeah.
dead,
Yep.
okay?
No deer around either.
So
No-
can I,
no deer
can I
either.
get a motion to that effect, that we send them a letter and just tell them that they need to replace the arborvitaes?
I make a motion that we send a letter to
SAI group?
the SAI group requesting that they replace the arborvitaes there before we can give them a certificate of compliance.
Okay.
I second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, is a vote. Okay. The next one was 795 Oxford Street. Now, we have photographs of it. We have the as-built plan, which I think you all have a copy of it. And Tom actually had an opportunity to see it
Today.
today.
It's the...
Oh, sorry,
Thank you.
I put it under the...
No, thank you, it's just like, it's because it's so obvious.
And so Tom, what was your,
That was like a bad penny.
Yeah. If you look at this plan here, the original plan in front of the 32-foot wide footprint of the house, the original plan had a garage over in front of that was going to be 24 feet. They decided to not do that, just build the main house and put the garage under it there. So that's just paved area, that's impervious. And they added that deck in the back.
That's right.
Because it was a dust and the snow and everything, I walked over and kind of kicked some of the snow away. And the big sock that goes around is like completely frozen in the ground, staked, so it won't come out till the spring. But
Right.
everything looked good. They said they planted grass seed, but it hasn't obviously
can't see
started
it.
yet.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
a lot of times with sellers, they'll put a thing where they won't get all the monies until that's in place. And that's something, but I mean, as far as orders and conditions, I think the site work's done. And
Okay.
it's done correctly.
all right.
And
That's fine with
pictures
me.
that I sent to everybody, this is like with the garage door.
Mhm.
That's where the footprint of the house would have been there if they had put the garage further out. And I'm definitely not a photographer, I use Patty's phone.
That's all right.
You can actually see in this one that stakes all around,
Still in place.
erosion control, yep. And it goes all the way up to that portable potty there and
What's the, like the lighter dashed line?
oh, that's where the erosion control, it goes around like that little curve there, and then it comes back up.
No, the lighter one.
Oh, the lighter
that's
one
got
going
like a
across?
thumb. Because I think,
Oh, that's the 50-foot buffer.
I know, but I think the original driveway got expanded as well,
Yeah, they said they made it a little bit wider.
right in the
They
50
don't-
foot.
I'll tell you something, oh,
The
look at,
50-foot buffer without
let me look at the pictures
permission.
there. If you look at those pictures, I can tell you right now, it didn't seem like there was as much of a curve as you're looking at on this
Yeah,
print.
exactly.
It almost looked like it was almost a straight shot.
Straight line.
It did-
Those
yeah.
nice pictures.
I know they did say they changed it, they mentioned it in the filing, they changed it right here.
It's too late now, but
Yeah, it says limits vary slightly, but I'll be honest with you, I don't believe that they go as far as what you're looking on this print here. I think
Yeah.
they're actually
That's
less.
the curve.
Yeah, they did not build, or didn't encroach in the 25-foot no-build zone.
Yeah, it's right here.
So, I mean, it's buffer zone
Actually,
activity.
wetlands, okay.
think it looks all right.
Okay.
Is there a motion?
Yeah.
I make a motion we
That's
issue
fine.
a
Can't do this
order
one.
of conditions for,
mean-
I'm sorry,
I just
certificate
have
of
the
compliance
original
for
controls,
795
just, yeah, the little-
Orchid Street South.
I think this is the original
That's correct.
proposal.
I'll second that.
But look at this.
I have any questions.
I don't think that juts as much as this showing it juts. Do you?
No, it doesn't. It goes out a little bit, but it's like a straight, if you look
Right.
at the second picture, I think, in there. Nope, the next one. It's just kind of like a hump of snow in the middle, right there. That's actually right where this is here. And it's not really as much of
Okay.
a distinct curve like that. It's almost like
And that's 25
it goes
feet
out.
at least?
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know.
Down there once.
Okay, so there's a motion and there's a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote.
Got that, Liz?
Tom, is it all right if we keep those pictures for
sure.
the file?
Okay.
Lovely.
And then we also received a request for a certificate of compliance for 31 Sword Street. And so Tom and I went on Saturday, and although the monitoring and the well and work appears to be fine, we saw a lot of trash in there.
Yep, a lot of trash.
A lot of trash, a surprising amount of trash.
Wow.
So my inclination would be to send Goddard Consulting a letter, enclose copies of the photos, and say, we will issue a certificate of compliance once all the trash is cleaned out. That's just my thought.
33.
31.
31, I'm sorry, 31.
That is Mr. Reisner's property.
Okay, thank
I think
you.
that's a fabulous
33 is the
idea.
other one.
I would like to wait
33
and
is
see
the
in
Will
the
Cup
spring
now.
that the plants are actually growing, but.
Well, what we're saying is that we're not going to issue a certificate
not
of
gonna
compliance
issue.
until they clear out all the trash.
And then we can go in and look at it.
In the winter for
Until
3 more
then.
months.
Yeah, but we won't know all the trash is gone until all the snow's
We
gone.
won't sell it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, that's,
So,
This
Is-
was only 2 days ago, though.
that's correct. Is, it was more than 2 days ago, it was like
That was
5 days ago.
sad, yeah.
In any event, I won't,
Oh, received day.
Oh, yes. So anyway, is there a motion to issue a letter?
I motion that we issue a letter to 33,
31.
31.
Actually,
sorry.
to Goddard Consulting, since
To
they
Goddard
requested.
Goddard Consulting, yeah.
And what's it gonna say, Michelle?
To please clean up the area of all of the debris
And
and
that
trash.
we can't issue a certificate of compliance until they do so, right?
And we cannot issue a certificate
Okay.
of compliance.
how will we
until-
know that? How will
Lizzie,
we-
you got that?
Yes.
To
Excellent.
the
How will
area
we
is.
know?
I would like to actually amend that motion.
Okay,
And
please.
the only amendment would be to CC this and also send it to Scott Goddard from Goddard Consulting.
Actually, it's gonna go to Scott Goddard.
It's going to go to Scott directly?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, because they filed the request, and so it makes sense
Okay.
to send it to them.
That I'm concerned about the turtles. So, no, I won't say that. I'm only kidding. That's not true.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? Turtles. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed to vote? Okay. Okay. And we have someone in the audience. Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Come on down.
Here on behalf of New England Power.
Okay.
I received a maintenance notification letter for some work that's going on, and it was requested that somebody come just in case you guys have questions about.
Would you be Andrea?
I am not. I
Okay.
am her consultant. My name's Teresa.
All right, Teresa. Well, thanks for
Your
coming.
last name, Teresa? We just have your last name?
Yes, Portante. I'll spell it. Portante, and I'm with BSC Group. How are you doing, Ben?
Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. National Grid, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Are you familiar with what the proposed work? Why don't you tell us what you're going to do?
Sure. So the scope of work is they are going to be going out and replacing insulators on every single structure along this transmission line, all the way from Millbury out to Schomer, Mass.
When was the last time that was done?
Oh, I don't even know, I don't think anybody's
Before.
accessed the right-of-way in a pretty
Okay.
long time.
All right. And
Um,
they're being replaced because?
They're in poor condition.
That's a good reason.
Does everybody know what an insulator
why don't you-
is?
Nope, no, tell us.
So the easiest thing, because you probably drive by telephone poles all the time, and if you look up on top of where, the very top, that's where the actual electricity is running, and there's a little circular piece of equipment that's attached to the actual wire and the pole. So like it's the thing that prevents that holds the wire to the structure.
Did they
On-
used to be glass?
They are glass.
Oh, they are still
There
glass?
are
Wow.
still glass out
I
there.
thought they were
Are they-
ceramic, but
I
they're
have
glass.
some.
There's different types. This one, they're replacing the polymer type insulators that are on the structure.
Okay.
But they're still glass out there. You can actually find them in right-of-ways. Sometimes we find really cool every now and again. Really pretty colors. But anyways, on a transmission line structure, these are huge. I mean, these insulators are like this big.
And the
So,
towers are how tall? A couple hundred feet sometimes? 150?
not these ones.
No?
But I don't have the exact.
That's fine. It's
exact
okay.
height. But what they do is they'll use a combination of bucket trucks and accessing on foot where they can, and their contractor feels like it's safe to do so. They have to use a truck to get at dead-end structures, and dead ends are typically at like a major road crossing or an angle in the line. The rest, they're called suspension structures, and they can climb those. So it's a pretty fast-moving project once they get going. They can climb about 4 structures a day, and then the dead-end structures take a little bit longer.
And how many are in Auburn, do you know?
I don't have.
Does it
There's
say
13? 13 that are within, buffer zone
Okay.
or require a wetland crossing within, so under your jurisdiction within the town of Auburn.
Understood.
Yep.
And generally speaking, I mean, from beginning to end, how long will it take for these insulators to be replaced? If you had to,
Well, with
Give an
that amount of
estimate.
structures, probably just within Auburn, a couple weeks.
okay. And beginning when?
Well, they're doing, it's slated for sometime this year.
Okay.
So all permits have gone in at this point, so they're just looking to get going whenever they can get a contractor on board to do the work.
Has it been put out to bid?
That's what is in progress. They
Gotcha.
are going to put it out to bid. Originally, they were going to do it in-house, but now they have to prepare a bid document.
Okay. All right.
Wouldn't it be better? So can they do it during the winter when the
They
ground's frozen?
can, yep. So that's another alternative. They can access across wetlands if it's solidly frozen. Their minimum is at least 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then our wetland scientists will go out and make the determination for them that it's sufficient for them to access that way. Or they'll just walk. So.
Okay.
Okay,
Seems very straightforward.
gotcha.
Any questions?
I just wanted to ask one, why are they replacing, I didn't have a chance to read anything, why are they replacing them?
They're either in poor condition or not of the material that is their standard now. So it's just part of they're always having to look at their structures and make sure that they're up to code.
It's really preventative maintenance, right?
That's right, that's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, terrific. Well, thank you for coming in. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What are you gonna do with them after they're gone? Sell them?
They recycled them.
Okay, good.
Where they go, I don't know. We have a huge depots all across the state for other materials. So.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
You too.
Good night.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you very much.
Need that.
So I was thinking for 31 Sword Street, we should enclose copies of the pictures.
Oh, okay.
And then we need to vote on Mr. Stelmach's request for determination of applicability.
Yep.
So is there a motion?
Make a motion that we issue a negative determination for Justin Stelmach, 23 Pinrock Road, for the removal of 3 large dead trees.
Okay.
Second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote.
Did anyone have any extra pictures that they are not going to want that we can make
you
more
can
copies?
You can take mine.
You take all of mine.
Here you go.
Let's go.
Oh, you got them?
Yes.
Okay.
So they're not issuing any of them.
Oh, just this one tonight, huh?
Sure is.
He's rivaling.
They're skiing tonight.
He's rivaling the signatures.
Yeah, come on,
It's getting
no,
tough.
I'm always gonna be the worst writer around.
Well, yeah, you're both getting pretty bad.
All right.
Power to 'em.
So I'm not going to be here February 12th, just putting that out there now.
Okay.
All right. Trying to get it in before me? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yes.
Well, you know, you hold the record, Michelle.
For sure.
I know, huh?
Somebody's gonna do
It's tough being you.
It's tough, yeah.
That's right.
Somebody's gonna do it.
Okay. And then for Washburn Commercial Properties, I have some thoughts. Because the snow is dumped in a wetland area,
Yeah,
I think we are absolutely within our right to have them remove it.
I
Okay.
agree.
And,
Especially if there's like debris in it.
well,
There's
and
the-
that-
Yeah.
There
and
was
also-
debris there
Yeah.
when we went there, when
Yeah.
they did
I
the
have been
original
there
work before,
Yeah.
and we told them, oh, you gotta clean this up.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure they did, because we went back there, but
So I think the hood, to the extent the hood's there, that needs to come out. Any debris deposited there by Fuller or by the offending party needs to be removed. They cannot use any heavy equipment within the wetland to remove the snow, but the snow does have to be removed. And I think we should give them a deadline to do it.
Okay.
What's a fair deadline? February 1st?
Yes, it's gotta be at least.
Why are you smiling?
I said April.
No, no.
No.
Heavy equipment, definition, what you
No
consider heavy
heavy
equipment?
No.
No.
There can't be any heavy
No
equipment in
motorized
there.
equipment
No.
can be used in the wetland area to remove the snow.
So it's gotta be-
And the reality is that they can't do it anyway because it would be a trespass on
Yes.
their property.
Also, he actually brought up another really good point. If they're pushing snow from that parking lot, where there could be oil, there could be,
Yeah.
Yes,
can't do
there could be
definitely.
any kind of antifreeze, any kind of other stuff. Should we
That's
be having
everywhere.
them? I know that's everywhere.
I've been to Fuller's, they don't have like oil everywhere, there's no.
Yeah, it's a cleaning
not-
operation.
It's not, there's
No,
no
it's not, but
outside.
it can happen.
But I think.
Do they have a well over there, though?
I don't know if they do or not.
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know
You
that.
mean a well for, you mean
Their
the,
drinking
Water
water?
well.
I don't think there's any
The
private
property
wells.
owners, you mean?
The
Yeah.
404
I
South
don't
Street.
think so.
no, I don't think so
All
either.
right.
I'm pretty
Okay,
sure though, when
sensitive to
when
them.
they remove snow to a place that's called a snow dump, doesn't it have to be in an area that's not gonna have any kind of environmental impact? Because being a parking lot, it could have, motor oil, transmission fluid,
Yes,
just
true.
kind of as a precaution.
Should it be tested?
It's a possibility.
No, I'm just saying though, when you have snow removed, like for example, downtown Worcester, a lot of the places down there, they have to truck the snow out because it's in
Right.
parking lots.
I mean, I would
And
be
the
more
places they
concerned
bring
about
it
sediment.
are supposed to be registered with the state as snow dumps. And to be a snow dump, I believe it has to be an area that's like, it can't leach into the ground, into wells, stuff like that, because they know it's gonna have some contaminants in it.
This has been happening for 9+
Yeah.
years. There's gotta be a foot or so of sediment.
He says
I-
more.
I don't know, and frankly, the problem is that it's now wintertime, and so what we can do is we can go back there. And if there is further action to be taken at that point, I think we can deal with it. What I was going to say further, though, is to put them on notice that if we receive any more complaints of snow dumping in the wetland, and I would phrase it in the wetland, okay? Again, we're not their advocate. They have a
Right.
separate
Right.
separate issue.
Right.
But if there is further dumping of snow in the wetland, we reserve the right to start imposing fines. And I would put that in the letter. Because I want them, the sense I get is that this gentleman and his wife have gotten lip service for a really long time.
Yeah.
And I think if there's some teeth in terms of what we propose to do, maybe we can change their behavior. And if they don't change their behavior, then we have a remedy.
I think the problem is that nobody's watching what's going on with the plow person.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I
Yeah.
don't think
Yeah,
they...
He's taking a front end loader and just scooping
He's
it
just
up in the
doing it,
middle of the
sure.
night and dumping it over when
They're-
it's 2 in the morning.
Sure.
They're,
How close is the wetland?
That's my thought.
Within 100
It's
feet?
It's right there.
Right behind
It's
it.
right
They
there.
filed with us when they expanded.
Yep.
And we
So
went
like,
there.
were they allowed to even have any snow stored where they're pushing, it seems like
No,
they're
I'm
pushing
sure
it
the
into
answer
a
is they
pile
weren't.
and
No,
then...
No,
they
I'm
weren't.
sure
I
there
said
was
it's not
some
the
kind of a
police
plan,
that's doing
but
it
that was
now.
definitely an area.
So they
and my
shouldn't
feeling is,
store
you know what,
snow
this is,
within 100
this
feet.
is totally an afterthought. There's snow, it interferes with our business, get rid of it, move it to the
Yeah.
side. So, we'll bring it to their attention.
Yeah.
We've given them, and in fact, we should give them, I think, until February 1st to do it. We can take it, we can make an inspection. If they don't, if they haven't done it by that day, then we can take further action.
So we're giving them till February 1 to remove it?
Yeah, to
Probably
comply,
manually,
to
but
comply with the
no,
order.
comply.
That's plenty of
Okay.
It
time.
has to be
Okay.
manual, like,
No.
It has to be.
It
Because
can't be
no-
any machine.
Can
Right,
we ask
no,
them to
that's what we
submit
said,
a
yeah.
snow plan as far as what they plan on doing with their snow since
future?
they've committed a violation?
That's
or
a
do you
planning
think
board
that's-
thing.
Is that,
They should have
I mean,
filed
We don't
something.
have it in
If
an
we
order
can
of
find a-
conditions
it
somewhere?
would have been an order of
Yeah.
conditions.
Yeah, it would have been in the order of conditions
Yeah.
if we just probably told them, don't dump it in the
That's a-
wetland area.
That's a standard condition, so that, and, I mean, we can pull the order of conditions for that property, but I'm sure it's a standard order. We always,
Yeah.
Right.
we always put that in there.
Yeah,
So,
yes. And then sometimes there's other language added.
right. And make sure we send a copy of our correspondence to them. And then Lizzie, what you can do is, I can start working on a draft for the letter, and I can send it to you.
I'm sorry.
I can work on a draft for the letter.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
On top of everything else. Thanks for volunteering me, Sheila, I appreciate it.
Hey, you volunteered, you said let him do it.
You volunteered,
I know.
she reinforced.
What are you thinking?
You get a
What was
cold,
I
you're not
thinking?
thinking, right?
God, what was I thinking? All right. Is there any other business?
There
Well, they
is.
have to
Wait,
sign
we're
it.
discussing
I would like
this.
to, I would like to take 2 minutes of everybody's time, after we sign the form.
Okay.
What about
Okay,
the
this is
select?
the Benvenuti certificate of compliance.
Now, what if weather gets in the way of them attempting to remove this snow?
they have to put it somewhere else. Well,
3 weeks.
Meaning, like,
We get a blizzard?
couple blizzards.
Well,
You know,
you're
one
enforcing
blizzard,
all
okay.
shit.
Should that be the standard, a couple blizzards?
Well, they're gonna have to remove
Yeah, a
the
couple
blizzard
blizzards.
snow.
You've got an
that
enforcement
comes in.
order
Well,
right now.
the snow will not go on into the wetlands.
No, the snow that just falls.
It's
Like,
gonna
we got
go
a
on
foot and a half
top.
of snow, they're gonna have to remove it. That's just...
Huh?
You have a good
Wow.
point. I wish I hadn't raised it, but
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
I think we'll have to,
not
you know
the
what,
end
you
of
know
the
what we'll do? We'll monitor the situation,
Okay.
okay? And if we get, this 100-year storm event, hopefully not, but if there are circumstances that preclude them from doing it, I mean, they can come into us and say, we can't do it because this happens,
It brings you to that existential question, if the snow falls and no one sees it fall, did somebody put it there or did it
Yeah,
fall?
right, yes, you're right.
Probably which fell, yeah.
Tom's
This
gonna
weekend it's
go
supposed to be
outside.
hot and rainy.
Blackstone River Coalition.
Yes.
Is there something about that that we
Okay.
need to discuss?
They were gonna come in, but I
Please.
guess they never.
We can keep that on the agenda for the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
They break it up a
I'm
little
gonna
bit
take
now.
2 minutes of everybody's time. We have that environmental conference coming up.
Okay, for you newbies here?
Yep, that's exactly.
So the MACC has a conference annually at Holy Cross.
One for each.
I've attended a bunch of times. It is, it's really a half a day and it is excellent. It's really invaluable if you want to gain some knowledge or enhance your knowledge
Go this
concerning,
year. It's not falling on my birthday, so.
I'm sorry, what?
It's not falling on my birthday
Okay,
this
well,
year.
I thought you were going to say, all right, okay, maybe you'll show up.
Thank you,
So-
thanks.
But anyway, this is,
Look at how young you'd be.
it's an excellent conference. If you are interested in going, we have money in our fund to pay for you to go. And I recommend it. I absolutely
It's
do.
already on my calendar.
Yeah.
So,
Real quick,
yeah.
if you look at this form here in the bottom from Antonio and Nathan, these fundamental classes are really good. And once you take, I forget how many, I think it's 8 of them or 9 of them. There's like 5 core ones and then there's 3 electives. out of like 6. When you take them, you get a certificate, and basically they give you a pretty good, well-rounded education on like what we do. And then all of these things up here are like the different seminars they have. And I know what Shaylee used to do is she would give us a form, we'd fill it out and give it to you, but they
Yep.
don't have any forms. So what I did is I printed out a copy of what the webpage looks like.
Yeah?
And
It's online,
so, let me find it, here we go.
You put that online? I think you did, didn't you? Put it online.
So that if we take this form here and we
Yeah.
pick out what we want to do, whether it's these or here,
Yeah.
we can give that to Liz, and
Yeah.
you can go on the website and just
Fill
fill it out. Because
Yeah.
they don't have like a form, like a PDF you can print out anymore. It has to be online now.
Oh,
So
wow.
how does it work then? You pay for it online?
Yeah.
Which means that it probably, it has to be paid by credit card then, right?
I don't know who's got a credit card.
Well, that's a really good
Yeah.
question.
I'm sure the cities and towns must do something with it.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
sure.
we need to find out.
Yeah.
If they've changed the way you
It'd have to be a
register.
PO.
They have changed it, yes.
Because we've always done a,
Yeah.
so,
I
all
used to
right.
just give you copies of the PO. I'd send the PO copy,
Right.
fax it over to them, and then they'd know that the payment.
So what I'll
was
do is
Might be different.
I'll call and ask if they've changed the registration procedure.
They're usually very good over
What'd you say
there.
about the
Want to pass this over
MACC
to Liz?
forms? The MACC, What'd you say about the MACC forms?
In the past, what you do is you get the form and then you check off which seminars you're going to attend.
Right.
Yeah,
Um,
and then I would fax those forms
Well,
over.
that's right.
It's an old one.
So maybe
So,
With the PO showing that.
right.
Got payment.
All right, so I'll find out if the registration has changed, if their procedure has changed.
Other than Alice, anybody else considering going?
I'm going,
I'm
definitely. I
going.
missed the last couple of years, and it's really good.
I might go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be
They feed you
like
really well,
60.
too. They have a really good
Here,
lunch
yeah.
at the hall there. It's like,
Can I just give you this with my name and the ones I want to do?
yeah.
Perfect.
Sorry, it never goes quite far enough.
Is everybody going to attend, possibly?
I don't know
I
yet.
don't know yet.
It's $135
I'm inclined to do it,
each.
especially because it's,
What's that?
Is it $135 each?
Yes.
What
Per
was it
person?
before?
That's for MAC members. That's the price.
Yeah,
that's
That's
what
what I
I
said. I
thought
said,
it was a lot
I don't
less than
remember it
that.
being, that's what I thought, too.
I thought it was half.
Maybe
that.
if the municipalities go,
I thought it was like-
that's just what the website said.
Wow.
So I just printed it out.
Yeah.
Maybe when you contact them directly, I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
that
find
just
out.
seems
But
crazy.
that's what it said, $135 for MAC members.
okay.
Did you say something about the MAC cards, that membership card? You said that's an old one, but how do you
Yeah.
get a new one?
Well, we never got the new
Yeah.
ones.
Okay,
I
so
know
are we going to get the new
they
ones?
issued them.
Okay.
And I-
Did you?
So,
Okay.
so was it in your
Yes,
packet?
ma'am.
Have you been able
It
to look
seems as
up
though I
that
I
too?
don't remember if it was in a
I'll
packet
talk to
or
you
if I
about
got it in the mail.
I remember.
I wouldn't have sent it
17,
separately, I
18.
don't believe.
I don't think
everything.
so. Anything I ever got from you?
Well, I can remember getting them.
16, 17, 18.
I don't recall getting one.
No, I
either.
don't either.
You
I don't
didn't?
recall
We
getting
got
it.
everything
Went to
else
Hawaii
but.
at the end of March, so
I honestly didn't lose any sleep over it, but that's okay.
I'm good.
You could ask them to issue new
March.
ones.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll make a
yeah.
note of that, okay.
I have to actually send that in tonight, though.
All right.
I just remembered, today was my deadline for that.
Well, you better
I'm gonna have to
get right on
put
it.
in, I'm gonna have to
Okay.
do that on my way home.
Is there any other business? No? Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion, we adjourn this meeting?
Is there a
Second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so voted.
Come out.
Thank you, everyone. It's about
Happy New Year to
Not bad.
everyone.
Happy New Year.
8:04.
I don't know if I